All right. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I hope you learned something new and get everything you want out of this talk. I'll be holding a Q&A session after this. So if you have any questions, you can reach me there. So without further ado, my name is Dorsh, and I am the CEO and founder of AIXA. I'm a UX architect for Fortune 500 companies and a recording engineer and artist that has amassed over 6 million streams on popular music services. Throughout my career in both music and tech, I have been fortunate to work with celebrities, world-renowned athletes, and global brands, and some of my favorite local companies as well. However, beyond all of my accomplishments, there's nothing I am more proud of than my Jamaican and English heritage. As you can imagine, in my household growing up, there was always a lot of accents floating around. So whether it was my mom yelling, Dashan, put on the guitar, you finish your homeworks yet? Or my uncles having a word with me about my impeccable Mancunian accent, it was always incredibly interesting growing up. However, recently I learned from the Pew Research Center that just like me, there are over 80 million people, or 25% of the US population, that identify as first or second generation English speakers. Beyond that, there are 24 major dialects of English in the US. To name a few, think of African American Vernacular English, Southern English, or Northeastern, right? So with so many different dialects and accents in the English language, computer scientists have relied on what is called General American English to write and train modern natural language processing, or NLP models, right? Unfortunately, GAE, or General American English, excludes minority voices, which in turn leaves out hundreds of millions of users because of their accents, right? So today, I'm here to talk to you about how our company, AIXA, solves automated speech recognition technology for people with regional, non-native, or accented English. So, in the spring of 2019, a group of Stanford University researchers found that the top 5 leading speech-to-text services were twice as likely to mistake Black speakers, right? So I couldn't believe this. So as a UX architect, I decided to run a study myself and see how true this was. You'd be surprised what I found. Check out this video.
Google, what is the best way to cook bacon?
Where are beer cans sold around Houston? Here you go.
Hey Siri, turn on the country station.
A constellation is an area on the celestial sphere in which a group of visible stars forms a perceived outline or pattern.
Has this ever happened to you? Have you ever wondered why? Did you know that 87% of the population owns at least one of these voice-activated devices? Well, one of the biggest challenges in NLP, or natural language processing, is the shortage of training data, right? Which only causes bias to get worse. So how are we different? At AIXA, we're expanding ASR technology by building culturally inclusive NLP datasets that bring modern voice technology to all English speakers. Furthermore, we're also challenging the status quo when it comes to the naming of our product. Currently, the tech industry is in the midst of a crisis when it comes to attracting and retaining minority talent. Furthermore, companies like Uber, Facebook, Google, Twitter have all reported no more than 3% of its US workforce to be Black. So this lack of diversity in product teams yields products like Alexa, Siri, Erica, Bixby, Cortana. I could go on and on and on. However, if we're not careful, it can lead to the perception that knowledge is held by one group, right? one group of Eurocentric names. So hence why we named our product AIXA, right? We're breaking that programming. So I'm sure you're interested in how does it all work? Very simple. Via our custom application and proprietary data sets, you simply select your mother tongue, sync your devices, and record short clips of your most mistaken commands, right? So do you remember our two accented users from earlier that got totally random responses from their voice assistants? Well, check out this simulation of what would happen if they had AIXA installed and running in the background of their device.
Google, what is the best way to cook bacon?
Here are some recipes I found.
Hey Siri, turn on the country station.
Music country now playing.
Perfect. So AIXA is focusing on building multi-dialect data sets within the English vernacular. And so as we've previously spoken about, think of African American Vernacular English, think of Spanglish in our Latino and Hispanic communities. We have many different ways of articulating English, think Puerto Rican, Mexican, Dominican, Indian English, USA Southern, Caribbean English, and African English, right? So these are all of the data sets that we as a company are focusing on. Like any company or great idea, there are a few controllable risks and rewards that come naturally with the territory. But we're okay with that. Most importantly is being first to market with intellectual property like this. There's always a risk that there may be an attempt for someone to try and copy it, but the reward of helping to change the narrative for minorities in tech, the way we think about our products, the way we think about our colleagues, it far outweighs any risks that there are. So as aforementioned, minority groups face social barriers to learning computer science, such as the continuing perception that computer science is only for white or Asian males. So we're here to break that programming. Like we discussed earlier, we intentionally named the product AIXA, and I would love for everyone that attended this talk today to become an ally of AIXA, right? And how can we do that? Just stand in solidarity against injustice, you know. I say be the change that you would like to see, you know, on your teams. If you don't see diversity, you know, look for those things, advocate for it. It'll make you a better designer. It'll make you a better product owner. It'll make you a better person, right? Donate time and money to initiatives that are furthering minority voices in tech. Educate yourself on bias. There's many different types of bias out there, especially in this world of artificial intelligence. And it takes a village, you know. It's an old adage, but you know, I always say I never got a daughter, but AIXA is my daughter. So it takes a village to raise a child. So we can all do this, right? I'd be remiss if I didn't thank these two wonderful individuals who helped steer this crazy ship. Wonderful people. And I'd just like to thank you all for your time, or should I say thank you for your time, or manas and respect. It's been wonderful speaking to you. And lastly, I'm currently building the largest database or data set of African American accents. So if you're interested in contributing to our data sets, please contact me after the event or in the Q&A session. Thank you so much. Cheers.